Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I hope you fine and nice to meet you in this time. Okay, before we are going to come to the topic, so I would like to ask you some example that you have know. How about something happen? For example, happen in the world. For example, disaster. Ya, disaster that means musibah atau bencana alam. Who knows? Can you give example? Bencana alam. Okay, that's right. Flood. Banjir. What else? Tsunami. Yes, that's right. Tsunami also. And that is something disaster happen in our world, in the year. That's about the reality. That is about social phenomenon. Okay. Okay. In this time, I would like to explain about what's the text explanation. Okay. Before you learn many texts, you have already learned about many texts. For example, narrative, procedure, description, and so on. So now, in this time, you have to know so far about what's the text explanation describe. That is very important for you to know because in English, we learn many kind of the text type. Jadi kita belajar text type itu lebih dari 10. We have know about kind of the text more than 10 types. So, in this case, text explanation. You've already give example for tsunami and flood and etc. But before you know the example, so many example, many purpose, there are purpose about text explanation. That is about to explain process involved. That is working natural social phenomenon. Yeah. Process is natural. That means human respiratory system. That is the natural process that the human body process of the respiratory system. That is the natural. And this text explanation like that. Included explanation like that. And the second one, you have to learn about text explanation about social phenomenon. That means that you have already give example tsunami, flood, and that is a disaster, musibah, bencana alam, kind of the bencana alam, jenis-jenis bencana alam happen in the world. So that is the purpose that the writer written about text explanation. You have to know that every text we learn about different generic structure. Kita belajar setiap teks ada perbedaan structure. If matematika, that is a formula. Kalau dalam matematika itu adalah rumus. In the text type, we have learned about formula or the structure or generic structure. In the text explanation, you have learned. If you example, this is the text. This is a text. For example, human respiratory system, sistem pernafasan manusia ya. In the first paragraph, the writer written about general explanation. That the writer explain what is the general about the human respiratory system or tsunami or how the process of computer, yes, and then what's the process to make wood. If you have a book, how photosynthesis work, that is example also. And then making paper from wood chip, that is the general statement that the first paragraph written by the writer. Jadi penulis menulis secara umum kalimat-kalimat untuk membuka pemahaman secara umum bagaimana apa itu tsunami, apa itu kertas, bagaimana proses terjadinya, bagaimana proses secara alamiah sistem pernafasan manusia. Semua dijelaskan dalam the first paragraph. This is the first paragraph explained. That you have to know that if you want to be a writer, you have to know how to make a writing like this. That is first paragraph. In the second one, the writer explain about the complete or the detail of the explanation of the title. For example, I've already explained about human respiratory system and tsunami and what is the computer processes and so on. That is the example. You have to write down. You write down the complete as a detailed explanation. That is about the first paragraph, the second paragraph, the third paragraph, until the last paragraph. This is the structure of the text type explanation. This is the text type structure or formula or rumus membuat penulisan tentang penjelasan atau teks penjelasan atau explanation text. Okay, so far I would like to know, can you catch my voice? Of course you can. Jadi pertama, apakah Anda dengar penjelasan saya? Listening. You listening my explanation? Okay, good. So, the second one, I would like to know, do you understand what's the explanation that I've already explained to you? You understand? Up your hand if you 100% you know my explanation. Okay, good. Understand, listening, not certainly understanding. But understanding, it means you listening. So that is smart. So I've already told you that smart and clever is different. Smart more than clever. Okay. So how many percent that you learn about this, you understand, you have to master in text type understanding. Yes. You have to master. You harus kuasai belajar bahasa Inggris. Karena kompetensi, because the competency today, I forgotten to tell before that this is reading competency. Reading. You know that there are 4 skills that you have to get it for master in English. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But this today you have to learn how to reading, how to skim and scan. That is reading capability for the student. Because when you out of the you graduated from the high school, you can face many learning in English. For example, many books you have to read. Many books you have to read in the university or the faculty. That you know every reading, writing. I mean, you can face many kind of texts. So this is very important for you to know to make it easy. What's the text type that you have to learn in the grade 12 or in the high school, I mean. Okay, student, if you want to write down some example for writing this text, jadi jika Anda ingin membuat sebuah penulisan tentang text explanation, you have to know about what is the language feature. What that's the feature that you have to write down. This feature, language feature, using simple present tense. Yes, the tenses, the time is simple present. If narrative text, you're using past tense. Okay, but in this case, you have to use simple present, and then use action verb. Also, passive voice and using conjunction of time and cause. Also non-phrases, complex sentences, the use of technical language. I know that you know about the language feature that I've already read this time, because before I've already explained about the grammar or the structure. That now you have to read in your book the language feature to make easy you write down the text or example that you want to write down in writing. So please read and make a good writing to master your reading and writing, because if you learn about the structure, you master writing. So reading and writing and listening and speaking, that is a collaboration for a fourth skill. Okay? So you may continue your writing. You may give example for writing this text explanation using this language feature. Okay, it's enough for you for explanation about language feature. So, it's enough for you today. I think this explanation today is enough, and you will be read the many example of the text that you have to open your books and you read and you make a exercise to master your capability in reading skill. Okay, you may go on work in yourself. I will check.